Namaste everyone. Let's begin today's class sitting on our toes, hips on our heels. Beginning to just bring some small movements into the shoulders, neck, rolling your head in a clockwise and counterclockwise direction. From here, interlace your fingers and just take a few gentle wrist circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. Keep your fingers interlaced, and we're going to turn the palms up to the sky, not the ceiling. Open up the chest here, and as you exhale, round the spine. So cat-cows in a seated position. Inhaling, opening up the chest, and as you exhale, press the palms away and pull your belly into your spine. Going for about 10 of these in total. Reaching the chest up, pulling the belly in as you round. From here, we're going to start adding on. Just a few more of these. And then we're going to come into a kneeling position, still with the palms up. And as you exhale, twist to the left and bring your left hand anywhere beside the left shin. Come on up, and as you exhale, sit back down, round the spine. We'll go through this a few times. Inhaling up and twist. Reach the hand down and into a slight back bend here. Exhaling back into your twist, reversing the movements and rounding the belly. Inhale, come on up and twist, reaching the hand down. Back up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale up, twist to the right, reach for a back bend. Come on up, exhale, round the spine again. Inhale up, exhale, twist and reach. Exhale, back down and round. Inhale up, exhale, twist and back bend. Back up and exhale, round. Couple more here. Just moving between left and right. We're going for 10 in total, left and right counting as 2. This class might seem a bit fast-paced, so if you need to pause the video at any point, please do so. From here, we're going to transition into toe squat. So just staying on the toes, but lifting the knees up, taking the hands back so that you're in a reverse tabletop position. Lift the right arm up and reach it over to the left, like you wanted to touch your left wrist or the left fingers, and then we'll switch to the left side. So just twisting in a reverse tabletop position. Really engage your glutes here to keep the hips up. And this will also give you a stretch down the front of the body, the front of the thighs, front of the belly. Transitioning back onto our hands and knees. And we'll go through cats and cows, but this time we'll take the hip through circles as well. So as you inhale, you drop the belly down and then start to move the hips from side to side. And as you exhale, round the belly. So it's almost like you're making a full circle with your hips and your torso. The head can follow if this is okay for your neck. Otherwise, feel free to keep your neck in a fairly neutral position. We'll go for about 5 circles in a clockwise and 5 in counterclockwise. Really getting into the hips, the shoulders, activating the core here, bringing some extension into the thoracic spine, loosening everything up. From here, we're going to pick the left leg up and take it across so it's behind the right leg but still extended. Turn so you can look at your left foot. This will give you a stretch along the left side of the body. Pick the leg back up and now bring it out to the left side. You can tuck the right toes and sit back on the right heel, stretching through the left inner thigh. Inhale, come back up, lift up and come into a seated position. So now your right heel is near your pelvis. And we'll take this into a side bend. You can have your right hand behind your head for support. Keep the ribs spinning up to the sky or the ceiling. Now, a counter stretch here is to bring the right hand down on the right side and again go into this side plank back bend version. Bring the left foot right in front and just extend or push the knee past the ankle. And when you're ready, we're going to reverse the movements, coming back into the side bend, the back bend, lifting up so you're sitting on your right heel with the left leg extended and taking the left leg back across behind you, turning to look at your foot. Second round, bring the leg out to the side, sitting on your right heel. Coming into a seated position so we can move into a side bend. Never matters how deep you can go. Right hand comes down and you're opening up into a back bend. From here, right foot anywhere in front of you and start to push the knee past the ankle. This helps with ankle mobilization and opening up the hip. Reversing the movement, side bend, back bend, sitting on the right heel for an inner thigh stretch, crossing the leg behind you for a side body stretch. Third round, inner thigh stretch, sitting on the right heel. Coming into seated to a side bend. Inhaling, taking this into a back bend with the right hand on the mat. Exhale down, bring the left foot anywhere in front and open up the hip here. Bring in some ankle mobilization. Reversing into side bend. Back bend. Inner thigh stretch sitting on the right heel. Crossing the left leg behind, turning to look at the foot. Fourth round, inner thigh stretch. Coming into seated for a side bend. Moving into a back bend. Bringing the left foot in front, transitioning into a kind of a low lunge with the knee past the ankle, as long as this is okay for your knee. Reversing the movements to side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch. Crossing the leg behind. Last round, inner thigh stretch. Coming into seated for a side bend with the right arm parallel to the ear. Taking this into a back bend with the right hand down, opening the chest. Left leg anywhere in front, transition into a low lunge. Reverse the movements to your side bend. Back bend. Inner thigh stretch. The sequence really helps build the fluidity in the body, helps you transition quickly between movements. Crossing the leg behind, side body stretch. Keeps everything lubricated and moving fluidly. Right, changing sides. So now the right leg crosses back. Turn to look at the right foot. We'll take the right leg out to the right side and sit on the left heel for an inner thigh stretch. Sitting back down, coming into a side stretch. This time left arm is parallel to the ear. Left arm comes down on the mat, open up for a back bend. You are on the left knee and the right foot. Right leg comes anywhere in front, pick yourself up and transition into this low lunge variation. Past the ankle. Great, reverse the movements, coming into your side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch. Crossing the leg behind, turning to look at the foot. Inner thigh stretch, second round. Coming into seated, side bend. Back bend. Low lunge variation. So the left leg can stay at a slight 45-degree angle here. Reversing to side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch, sitting on the left heel, or even on the inside of your foot. Crossing the right leg behind, turning to look at the foot. Third round, inner thigh stretch, side bend, back bend, low lunge, reversing to side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch, crossing the leg behind, inner thigh stretch, side bend, back bend, low lunge, reversing side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch, crossing behind you, and turning to look at the foot, inner thigh stretch, side bend, back bend, low lunge variation, keeping the left leg at a slight angle, reversing side bend, back bend, inner thigh stretch, crossing behind, turning to look at the foot. Great. Transition back into hands and knees and just give your hips a little wiggle from side to side. And we'll transition into downward facing dog here. From here, raise the right leg up, step it between your hands and transition into a side lunge variation with the right toes and the right knee in the same direction. Keep your left hand down, transition back into a lunge and take a twist to the right side. Place the right hand down, step back to down dog. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Left leg up, step it between, turn to face the right side so you're in a low lunge. Coming to a twisted lunge with the right hand down. Step it back to down dog. Right leg forward, side lunge. Turn it back, twisted lunge. Step it back, down dog. Left leg comes forward, turning to the right for side lunge. Toes and knees pointing in the same direction. Twisted lunge. And now from here, drop onto the knife edge of your right foot and keep turning your left toes out enough so you can start to sit on that right hip. Again, toes and knees point in the same direction. Transition back to down dog. Right leg comes between, side lunge, twisted lunge, and then drop onto the knife edge of the left foot and start to sink into that left hip. Down dog. Left leg up, side lunge, twisted lunge. Transitioning into a hip opening side plank variation. More passive side plank. Back to down dog. Right leg up, step it through. Side lunge. Twisted lunge. Sinking into your side plank hip opener. Down dog. Left leg up, step it through, side lunge. Twisted lunge. coming into your hip opener. Taking it back, down dog. Right leg up, step it through, side lunge. Twisted lunge. Drop into your hip opener. Take it back to down dog. Left leg, step it through, side lunge. Twisted lunge. And sinking down onto the right hip. Down dog. Great. Prepare to come into our last sequence, going into pigeon. So inhale, take the left leg up and open the hip, stacking left over right hip. Flip your dog into wild thing. As you exhale, bring your left foot back between your hands and start to transition into pigeon. So you walk your left foot towards your right wrist and drop the left knee down by the left wrist. Inhale, take it back to down dog, open the hip and flip back to wild thing. Bring the left leg forward and sink into pigeon. Inhale, take it back to down dog, open the hip and flip it back. Exhale to pigeon. Inhale, take it back, open in down dog and flip to wild thing. Exhale, pigeon. One last time on this side, open the hip in down dog and flip to wild thing. Exhale, pigeon. Sink a little in your pigeon. Take your hands and start to walk them over to the right side, as far to the right as you can. If this doesn't feel comfortable, just stay in your regular pigeon facing the front. Inhale, walk it back, and we'll take a very mild twist here. So your chest is twisting towards the left knee. Try to keep your chest up as much as possible. And again, make sure this does not hurt your knee or ankle in any way. Inhale, back up, and transition back to down dog. We'll do the same sequence on the right side. Right leg comes up, open the hip, flip to wild thing. Find your pigeon on the right side. Take it back to down dog, open the hip, flip to wild thing. Exhale to pigeon. Inhale, take it back, open the hip and flip to wild thing. Exhale, pigeon. Inhale, open and flip. Exhale to pigeon. One more here. Open the hip and flip. Exhale into pigeon. Notice if your pigeon feels any different, if you can sink a little deeper. If you like, an option is to walk your hands over to the right side. Inhale, bring it back to center, and we'll prepare to take a very gentle twist towards the right knee. Bring it back to center, and we'll make our way to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. And here we're just going to sway from side to side, so almost like making figure eights with your upper body. And let your hips move along with you. Notice if this helps you go a little deeper into the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, maybe your lower back. Relax your upper body. Relax your neck. When you're ready, we're going to sit in Malasana, taking the toes out, bringing the heels in, pushing the knees away with your elbows. Exhale, transition back onto your hands and knees, keeping your hips over your knees. We're coming into extended puppy pose. Dropping the chest or the forehead down to the mat, whichever is accessible to you. Inhale back up. Transition to lying on your back. We're going to take a supine twist here, starting with the right knee. Bringing the right knee in and taking it across to the left side. Applying gentle pressure with the left hand, but making sure that the right shoulder is still making contact with your mat. Bring it back to center and we'll switch sides. From here you can go straight into Shavasana. Otherwise, you can just take some gentle rolls front and back to massage your back, holding the backs of the legs. Do these as much as you need to. And when you're ready, you can proceed to a very short meditation. Thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.